Welcome back to another episode of The Ninth Island with your host, Simone Raider, and of course, my co host.
Mr. Fitz, y'all know what it is. Raiders, bitch.
Today, we're kind of online right now because, it's been a busy week, but man, it feels good to come off of a
Very good.
W. We're 1 and 0s. We're 1 and 0.
Yes, sir.
We start off the year on a good note. For the
Yep.
start of Pete Carroll, his era over here in Las Vegas, I can't be any more happier than I am right now. A lot of people doubted us, but we came away with that W in New England. But first and foremost, Oos, how are you doing? It's been a while since we've done an episode, but we're gonna try to get on this every single week, whether we're online or in person.
Yep. Everything's been good, man. Been busy, with the business, doing what we do.
Mhm.
But it is officially football season, so I'm back. I'm only doing stuff that's here locally, and it doesn't interfere with my football time. So, that being said, it feels good to be back.
I know it's gonna be a long season. It's gonna be a long season, but it also is gonna be hella fast. It always goes by fast, especially this time of the year when the season does start.
Yep.
I would say the last couple of years it's been a stressful season for us, especially a stressful year, like end of the year for these last couple of years. But starting off on a good note, and before we
Yeah.
get on to the game, Moose, I want to ask you what your thoughts are, on some big news that came out right before the first game. Amari Cooper retiring after he signed just a week with the Raiders. What are your thoughts on that, Oos?
Oh man, honestly, I didn't really give a shit because he's old anyways. When we signed him, I was like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? We get some what do you call it? Some experience, some wisdom, yada yada yada. But, I really liked Jacoby Myers. I didn't think he was gonna, do better than him. And then Dante Thornton Jr., I guess outshined him a bit, and he was probably like, you know what, fuck this. It's time for me to retire.
Yeah, man. It caught me by surprise because I was like, man, I was one of those guys that was really excited to have Amari Cooper here just for nostalgic purposes, Oos, and just to have him back in the silver and black. I was like,
Yeah.
damn, like this is gonna be dope, man. Might as well bring everybody back
No,
around,
no,
right? Khalil
no,
Mack, go
no.
get Derek Carr.
No.
But at the end of the day, Amari Cooper came here. We got to see some clips of him at practice. He got the number 19. And then I remember the day that he announced his retirement. I was like, no, this ain't real. I was in Costco and stuff like that. I think I seen Joe in the chat. He was talking about it, and it's like, dude, I was like, oh, hell no. My initial reaction was, I was like, oh, hell no, this dude quit on us again. Like,
Yeah.
F this dude, But then, like taking a step back and looking at the whole picture, and Pete Carroll even talking, uh, you know, Amari Cooper came out, tried it out, and I guess he didn't look the same as he once did, so he just, hung it up. And I totally respect that. It's just kind of ironic because you remember he had his press conference and he said that he had a lot of juice left, man.
Yeah,
Just
I just
wait.
went out the door.
Yeah, man, we ran out of juice right before the right before the beginning of the season. I was like, damn, Moose. It is what it is. But I don't think that the wide receiver room is that bad. I know that there's
No,
a lot of names out there on who the Raiders could possibly bring in. Is there anybody out there that you would want to bring in, or are we good with what we have?
I'm good with what we have. Trey Tucker, Thornton Jr., you know what I mean? Jacoby Myers, Josh. You know, I'm happy with what we got. We're good.
Yeah.
What we need to do
Hmm.
is go out there and sign a fucking, excuse my language. We need to go sign some offensive linemen because what I saw in the second, third quarter of the first game looked very bad.
It was tough. It was tough to watch the offensive line. I know a lot of people could say that they were good and they were bad. I feel like they had their moments. There was some
Yeah, their
moments where they looked
moments.
good in pass protection. Even the running game looked pretty good in the beginning, but then they started to slip off, and it was kind of frustrating to see. But hopefully they pick up their act. I feel like the offensive line should be good moving forward. Then again, that's just me hoping on that.
Yeah,
But
we hope a
talking about
lot. We
yeah,
need
bro. But talking
we
about this
need it.
game, Moose, I got to watch over here at home, but you got to go to a watch party at Twin Peaks. So I
Yep.
wanted to ask you, how was the whole vibes over there? How was it watching it with the Raider Nation at Twin Peaks?
It was good, man. It was good to see a lot of familiar faces. Gogo Power Raider was there. He was the main one hosting it. I mean, you had Raider Steampunk. You had a lot of the people we see, here at the games, as well as new faces. You know what I mean? There was some people that hit me in the DMs like, hey, man, is this where you guys are going to be at? I'm like, yep, we'll be there. Sloan Bone was there from Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Okay.
It was a dope vibe. You know what I mean? It felt like we were in the stadium, but we weren't in the stadium. You know,
Yeah.
so it just felt good to be back with everybody. You know, cheering for the team we love. You know what I mean? And seeing our team win, man.
Okay. The most important question: was the food free?
It was free. Shout out to GoGo.
Okay. 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 Hey, what we got to try over there? What's the best thing to try over there? What was your favorite over there?
Well, I had a few dishes.
Other than the no, I was joking.
Steak and eggs was the best.
Steak and eggs. Okay. Keeping it simple.
Kept this. I mean, I tried the breakfast burrito. I tried the lunch burrito. You know, I
God
ate
damn.
during
You
every
tried
quarter. You
everything.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I had to get my money's worth. But yeah, no, steak and eggs was fire.
Okay. Shout out to Go Go Powerade and Twin Peaks for
Yep.
hosting that and the Oos showing up. We got the victory. That's all that matters. And you got to hang out, have a good time, and eat some good food. I want to take a quick moment to give a shout out to one of the sponsors of the podcast, C Connect. Now, C Connect is a new ticket exchange app coming soon to Google Play and the App Store. This is basically a social marketplace powered by the fans for the fans. Think of the Facebook group selling and buying tickets, but with a more secure transaction, which was one of the biggest worries and flaws for fans in the first place, because we all know that no one likes to get scammed. Another great thing about C Connect is not only the ability to buy, sell, and connect with others, but the ability to swap tickets with other fans. So if you're looking to be one of the first to access this app when it does drop, then make sure to join the interest list at cconnect.com. Now, we have and will continue to do a lot of great giveaways in the future with C Connect. So if you guys haven't already, make sure to go and follow them at C Connect on all social media platforms. But let's get into this game, Moose. Let's not waste any time. Get into this game. New England Patriots, Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders traveled to New England and
Yep.
Boston. It was raining. I seen a lot of Raider fans that we knew over there. And it did. I was kind of worried at first to see if that was going to affect the game at all, but I guess it didn't. I mean, Gino Smith. Oh well, before I talk about Gino
You know,
Smith,
he's in Seattle. He played in the rain a lot, so
that's true. That's true. But before I talk about him, let's talk about our head coach, man. A lot of people were iffy on Pete Carroll coming over here and seeing what he's been able to do, changing the culture around over here, going into New England
yeah.
and winning in the fashion that we did. And now Pete Carroll not only is the oldest head coach to win a game, but he also is the very first head coach to win his debut with four different teams. Of
Yep.
course, the New England Patriots, New York Jets, Seattle Seahawks, and the Las Vegas Raiders. And he does it in great fashion. So, Oos, this game, how did you feel about this game? What was your overall thoughts?
One thing I loved about Pete Carroll going into this game is, you know, especially when the O line and stuff started not going our way, and the cameras would pan into our offense going off the field, you would see Pete Carroll there, like, yeah, good stuff. You know, don't matter. You know, like he was giving them positive energy, pumping them up, even though that they messed up. He was over there cheering on. It's okay. Next one. Let's go. You know, high fiving everybody. I loved seeing that. You know what I mean? That team building, that like, you know what I mean? Because sometimes you want to cuss people out, like, man, what the, but sometimes seeing what Pete Carroll did is way better than cussing people out. So,
Yeah.
I love the energy he brings. I love what he's doing. You know what I mean? I love the encouragement. I love how he's behind the players 100%. I'm a USC fan too, so I love Pete Carroll, man.
Yeah.
He's my guy.
And it's crazy because you could have met him if you came with me
Yeah.
to the to the state of the
Yeah, I had
Raiders.
to deal with some very important
I
family
know, I
stuff,
know, I know, I know. But
But
I mean,
next one.
I agree with you on that. I just love the energy that he brought. And one big thing that I'll take away from this game for me was the second half adjustments. Because going into half,
Yeah.
we've seen this team multiple times, even with Josh McDaniels and even with AP. We either, well, not really with AP, but with Josh McDaniels, we always started off the games real hot, right? And we're going to halftime and coming out the second half, we didn't do nothing. We couldn't do anything. And then we'll always like choke a lot of games away or choke a lot of leads away. Pause. But just going into this game and seeing the Raiders after the Geno Smith interception, we fell completely flat going into half, right? And then
Yeah.
Daniel Carlson misses a field goal, and I'm like, damn, man, this is gonna be the same old Raiders. We start off strong, but we can't finish the games. And the biggest thing for me was like going into the locker room, I was hoping and praying that Pete Carroll could do something to help hype this team around and bring this team back, bring that energy coming out of the locker room. And That's what he did, and that's what we did. And it started with the defense side of the ball. Shout out to the big Oos. Isaiah pulled
Yep,
him out with a
Isaiah pulled him out, went off, bro.
huge interception to turn the momentum into the Raiders' favor. And I feel like the whole game was more of momentum based, right? Because the
Yeah,
Raiders came out the gate swinging. We got a touchdown on the first drive, and even on the second drive, it almost seemed like we were drive down and score again, right? And then Geno Smith throws the interception. And then the momentum's all on the Patriots side. And even Drake May looked pretty good for a while in that first half until he threw the interception. Then the momentum
yep,
came right back onto our side. Then we got to see the offense moving and the defense was moving as well. Ashton Jeanty, didn't have a really big day, but he came away with the touchdown, and hopefully we can see a little bit more from him. I guess, the Patriots were really honing in on that running attack, and also the offensive line didn't help out as well.
yeah.
But with that said, of course we came away with the W, and that's the biggest thing. One thing I want to talk about, Geno Smith. Do you feel like he's overlooked, and do you feel like he can be a top 10 quarterback in this league or even lead this team to a winning season?
All right, you remember when we signed Christian Wilkins? Remember that? And the new, and I was like, yeah, I'm not really sure
Yeah.
he's going to do good over here. And what happened? You know what I mean? I ran the numbers on numerology and astrology. Did my little thing,
Here we go
and
again.
we cut him year 2.
We did. Yeah, you're
Well,
right. You
Joe
jinxed us.
Morley, I was right with that one.
You jinxed us.
Not Joe Morley did send me a DM saying you jinxed us. We'll run the numbers on
Yeah,
and
you're
tell me
right.
what
You're
about
right.
Geno Smith. So
Okay.
according to numerology and astrology, Geno Smith next year will have the best year of his career. Mark my words.
You mean this year or next year?
No, it's next year, but this is leading up into next year.
Okay.
He's going to turn this team around. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I said during our predictions on the last episode, you know what I mean? Being like non-optimistic, 8-9, you know what I mean? That's better than what we're used to. You know what I mean? That's better for damn sure. So
Yeah.
going into next season, Geno Smith is going to lead us to the ship. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I have a lot of high hopes with Geno Smith this year, only because we haven't had a quarterback that's been stable, or at least have confidence in, right?
And he's
I
got
know.
a chip on his shoulder. That's what people miss out on too.
Yeah.
He's got a chip on his shoulder. He's got something to prove. That will drive somebody to the edge. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
That right there, that like fu mentality. This is
yeah.
I'm bringing it, and you got to deal with it type shit. You know what I mean?
Because they try to write him off, but he never
Yeah.
wrote back. So that I feel like he has a big season ahead of him with this team, and I think he's gonna help this team win a lot of games. Hopefully, a lot of games. But Geno Smith, I want to ask you this because I was talking about this on the round table that I was a part of. Unbiasedly, right now as it sits, where would you rank all four quarterbacks in the AFC West?
All right, so I'm gonna start this off with 4. I'm gonna go 4, 3, 2, 1. Off of week 1, right?
Yeah, off of week one. Let's go off of week one.
Off week 1, I'm gonna say Patrick Mahomes trash. He's number 4.
You put him at 4
Trash, bro.
after a week
Sorry.
one's
He looked
performance.
like he played in the Super Bowl. He's just horrible.
Okay,
He had
okay, I'll
one
hear
good
it.
play. Him and Kelsey, that was it.
Okay, okay, I'll give you that. Okay,
No, he had a couple plays, but still trash. So based off week 1, he horrible. I'm gonna go Broncos. Yeah, I mean, Bo Nix did all right. You know, he did pretty good. So, but I
that
believe with Geno Smith, his situation, being the new, being who he is, he's number 2 right now. Justin Herbert did pretty damn good.
also you got Justin Herbert number one.
As of week 1, yes, but
So okay,
as
so
of
let me
week
get.
2, Geno Smith number 1 when we beat
Oh,
the
okay, so,
Chargers. You know what I'm
okay.
saying?
Let me get this straight. You got Justin Herbert number one. You got Geno Smith number two.
You said non-biased.
No. I'm just. No, that's fine. And you got Bo Nix over Patrick Mahomes. So that's your list. Even
Yeah,
though
man,
Bill,
Patrick Mahomes, Bo Nix did better than Patrick.
no, he didn't. He didn't even crack 200 yards. He had 3 turnovers. The
Well,
defense, the
and he
defense on
lost.
him
That's
that
all that
game was.
matters.
Huh?
Bo Nix wins because he won.
Okay. Unbiasedly, I got it like this. Number 4 is definitely Bo Nix, who's trash. 3
Yeah.
would be Patrick Mahomes. 2, I would put that one. Okay. Unbiasedly, I would put Justin Herbert 2, and then Geno Smith. No. Come on, Us.
Hey, if that was the
Hey,
case, I
Us.
would have said the
You're
same thing you
telling
said
me,
right now if I
Us.
was gonna
No,
be
no, no,
biased.
no. I'm being honest. I'm trying to be unbiased too because you see what Geno Smith did: 362 yards in his debut as a Raider. Yes, he threw an interception, but he did this all in the rain. And right now he's the second lead. He's number 2 in passing yards in the NFL, only behind Josh Allen. So I'm gonna
Yeah,
go
did
for
you
that.
see that game though?
Yeah, that game was kind of crazy. Those game was kind of crazy. You see my fantasy team though?
Yeah,
We ain't gonna,
trash.
we ain't gonna talk about my team is ass, bro.
It
God,
was funny because I
hey.
saw you do a video when you made it like I got the best team. I was looking, I was like, that's good, but not the best.
No, it was the best, but they all underperformed for me. It is
Yeah, I
what it
got that.
is.
I got that dub in 5 leagues. Let's go.
I got my ass smacked. It is what it is. I drafted for my wife. Her and her cousins, like all the girls and their family, they just did a league for fun, for the heck of it. I drafted for her. She was like, "Can you draft for me?" I was like, "Forget, okay." And I feel like everybody else's husbands were drafting for them too. But bro, it's a 10-man league, and her team way better than my team. We got Jalen Hurts, Derrick Henry, Ashton Jeanty, she's like, I was like, damn. I got Tyler Warren. What's his name? Laporta. I said,
Oh
damn,
hell.
your team is way. I got. Oh, what's his name? Egbuka.
Oh
Egbuka.
yeah, yeah. From
Yeah,
Tampa Bay, right?
yeah. I was like, damn, I need your team, not my team. But it is what it is, you know. You know, as a Samoan, food is really important to me, as you can see, which is why I want to give a shout out to one of the sponsors of the podcast, Bula Pies Fiji. Straight out of Vallejo, California, Bula Pies brings the taste of the South Pacific right to your neighborhood. Whether you're craving something savory or sweet, they got you covered with their many pies and rolls, perfect for any occasion. And you know, the great thing about them is, even though I live over here in the Ninth Island and they're all the way in California, I could still get some meat pies delivered straight to my door frozen. And you just throw that sucker into the oven one time for the one time, and in a couple of minutes, you have some fresh meat pies at the comfort of your own home. So head over to bulapiesfiji.com to get yours today. And even follow them on Instagram at bula.pies.fiji to keep up to date on where they could pop up next. You never know if they're going to be in your town, whether for a festival or a concert. They're all over the place, so definitely stay tapped in with Bula Pies Fiji and let them know that the Usos sent you. Fantasy aside, Us, let's talk about reality, Us. And reality is, Ashton Jeanty only ran for 38 yards
38
on
yards.
19 carries, Zeus, with a touchdown. I want to ask you, because I know there's a lot of Raider fans on both sides, Zeus. Are you worried with Ashton Jeanty after this performance?
I'm not worried about him. I mean, you saw that O line. Yeah, I mean, he really didn't have, bro. Every time he tried to get through that, he was getting stuffed, bro. So I'm not really worried about it. It's game one. Yeah, I mean, the O line's got to do a little better, and with the O line getting a little better, hopefully in week two, his performance goes up.
I hope so, man. And now we're gonna be playing in a dome.
I'm playing at home, baby.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
go.
We're gonna be at home, man, and it's gonna be crazy. I think the energy is just different
You
when
see,
you're
you
at
see
home.
what ESPN said?
What they say?
They're predicting that 84%, or not predicting that the
Oh,
sales,
no,
eighty
yeah,
four
yeah.
percent of the
I actually
stadium
got
is
that
going to
right
be
here.
Raider
It's according
fans.
to Vivid Seats. They say 86% of Raider fans at Allegiant Stadium are expected on Monday night's home opener versus the Chargers. 14% of the stadium is expected to be Charger fans. I mean, it ain't nothing news. Out of all games, this is like the game that we actually black out. And I mean, shout out to the Raider fans that actually show up about damn time, right? But
I'll tell you how many times we go to the games and it's always the opposing fans, bro.
always, but I can't blame fans because there's really nothing to show for it.
You show up, win, lose, or tie all
That's
the time.
that's true.
You know what I mean?
It should be no
Me and Samoan Raider
excuses,
be there when we're freaking
bro.
4-12.
Even when we don't pay attention to the game and we're just there to
Yeah,
see
we're
it,
still there
we're
to support our
there.
team.
But I mean, it was worse in Oakland. But I'm joking, guys. Don't cancel me now. But no, yeah, Raider fans are gonna show up. You know why? Because we won the first game, and there's a lot of hype right now. How we got blown out in week one, that's a different story. But
Well, even
uh,
I remember when we beat what was it with Jimmy Garoppolo when we went into Denver and we won game one. You
yeah,
know what I mean? I remember the second game we came here. I thought it was going to be a lot more packed, but it was more opposing fans on that second game.
yeah, I don't know about that. But then again, you got to think about it. Not a lot of people liked Josh McDaniels. A lot of
Oh
people
yeah,
can
yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of people can get behind Pete Carroll. You know, a lot of people were salty with Josh McDaniels and then moving on from Derek Carr because we got a better quarterback than Jimmy G, but it is what it is. I think now there's going to be a lot more hype. A lot of people are behind Pete Carroll. And I feel like Pete Carroll brings that same excitement that Antonio Pierce brought with just more experiences. So
Yeah.
now with the team that we have, I have a lot more confidence moving forward with this team. But to finish off week one's matchup, I wanted to ask you if there was a player that stood out to you. Oh, you know what? Real quick. I forgot to talk about Ashton Jeanty. I'll highlight it real quick. For me, I'm not worried about Ashton Jeanty. He's a Raider now. I know a lot of people get on me because that wasn't my number one guy to get. But at the end of the day, he's a Raider, and he's considered to be the back that we're all gonna expect to go out there and just put this team on his back and run through a motherfucker face every single down. So, my only thing with it was just the fact that I expected a little bit more out of him. I understand that the offensive line didn't help out, but I'm not worried, and I'm not going to give up on Ashton Jeanty just yet. I still feel like he's going to have a great season. He's just got to get the kinks out the way, and that was his first full game as a Raider. So we'll see moving forward. If this was week 17, then or week 15, and he's still struggling, then okay, then we got to start talking about it. But I don't think we should be too worried about Ashton Jeanty. But
Shit, we gave what's his name AOC. We gave him 2 years.
I know, and this is the guy over here that thought he was Tom Brady.
Hey, don't bring up the past. Leave the past in the past. Ugh.
It's all good. No, I know. We some people thought ALC was gonna be that guy, but it is what it is. I think with the team we have right now, there's no reason why we can't be one of the best teams in the NFL, especially offensively, because I feel like we match up well with any other team out there.
Yeah.
One I want to ask you is who's a player that stood out to you in this game, or one guy that you would give a game ball to?
Honestly,
Yeah.
our cousin Isaiah Polumal.
Okay.
I would give it to him, man. Um we like I said, the momentum after he intercepted it, and then that smack of a stop that he did, the whole momentum that shifted after those plays right there, that right there set the tone for the win, in my opinion.
No, no, for sure, definitely.
That amped up the offense. That amped up the everybody.
Yeah. If I had to give a game ball to anybody, honestly, I mean, I could give it to a lot of different people, but honestly, I would have to give it to Jacoby Myers. I would give it to Jacoby for the simple fact that he's a guy that really doesn't have to be out there if he didn't want to, right? He could have sat out like any other player would if they wanted to get a contract extension. He spoke he spoke up about how he felt, about the contract extension. He asked, they said no, but he's still out there. He's showing up at practice. I know I dropped the reel and I talked about it, but just the fact that he's putting his body on the line at the game. And he came with what 8 receptions, 97 yards, and still was getting smacked out there, and he was still fighting for yards, still trying to make plays to help this team out. So if there's anybody I got to give a game ball to is Jacoby Myers, and I hope that the Raiders can get a deal done with him sometime this season, but hopefully sooner than later. And hopefully nothing happens to him because that's the main reason why a lot of these guys want to get that guaranteed money is because they don't want anything to happen when the season does start. But Jacoby Myers will be my guy. Shout out to Isaiah Pulomau, of course, setting the tone on the defensive side of the ball. Now moving on, those we got a whole new week, Oos, and it's rivalry week. This is one of those games where us Raider fans, Oos, we get kind of hyped up about, and of course,
Yeah.
we already know the shit talking is gonna start, Oos, especially when it comes to the Chargers.
Oh, we already started talking shit on social media.
Well, yeah, you did, and then I'm barely starting to, and we got a whole week until Monday night to
Yeah.
keep talking that ish. And it's funny. Last week I was talking about the Patriots, and people were like, "Don't jinx it. Look, we're gonna lose now, motherfucker. We won."
Let's
So who
go.
are you gonna blame now? At the end of the day, I look at it like us content creators, we gonna talk shit, win or lose. That's the whole thing about it. Of course we got respect for each other, but we control each other one way or another. But this is a big game, not only for just us fans. We're gonna go to the home opener. This is gonna be on Monday Night Football in front of the millions and millions of fans. So
Yep.
of course we're gonna be excited about this. But it's going to be a big test for this team, for Pete Carroll's team. Yeah, we won last week, but now we got to go 1-0 again, and this is a Chargers team that I feel like is going to be a big challenge for this team, offensively and defensively. Not only that, this is a big rivalry game between Jim Harbaugh and Pete Carroll. You know that
Yep.
history between those
Yep.
two. Those
I was
games
just
are
talking about that to the Usos.
yeah, that this is going to be one of those big big games. And like you said, there's gonna be 86% Raider fans over there, so you know the nation's gonna be loud, proud. I mean, not proud. We're gonna be loud. We definitely gonna root for our team, and we're gonna be up in there. We just hope. I just hope that this team shows up. But what are you looking forward to in this game for the Raiders and the Chargers?
I'm looking forward to us. Honestly, I'm looking forward. I want us to win, bro. I want us to win. I want us
I
to
think that's
set the
obvious. Yeah,
tone with them. You know what I mean? The casinos got us as an underdog again. You
I
know what I
like it.
mean?
I love it, Oos.
I want us to come out there and get that dub. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We get that dub against the Chargers. You know what I mean? It says a lot right there.
No, for sure. I have a good feeling that it's going to be a good matchup. And I feel like the Raiders against the Chargers, we always do pretty good in prime time, Moose. When the lights are on against the Chargers, we always do good, especially at home. If this was in LA, then I'd feel a different type of way. But
You
we're
know
at
one thing I
home.
really want to see though.
What?
I want to see Max Crosby put Joe Alt on his ass.
We'll see. I know
You
that's going to
know?
be a big matchup too. Oos. That's going to be a big matchup for those two. I know Joe Alt, he's gotten the best of Max Crosby a couple times,
I
especially
want to see
last year.
Max Crosby sit that little boy down.
Shit, I hope so. Yeah, like I feel like the offense. I want to see a lot more from the offense, but definitely the offensive line in this game.
Yeah,
If we wouldn't have any chance of winning, coming off of last game, I do have some confidence in the defense. Then again, the Chargers offense it's going to be a problem, Moose, especially that passing game,
yeah.
and we can't forget that they do have a running game as well. Omari and Hampton, and
Man, you did all right. You know what I mean?
yeah. Oh, Amari and Hampton did, but I'm just saying, like I wouldn't want this team to give up on the run. We did good last week against the run against Travion Henderson, who I thought was
Yeah,
gonna, kind of ball out a little bit. But I feel like this is gonna be a game to really show whether the Raiders are for real or not. Because if we could go 2-0 after this week, that's gonna be huge for this team. And it's been a while since we've been able to do that. But home opener, you're gonna be there, Oos?
yep. We'll be there.
We'll be there. There's gonna be a lot of events this weekend as well. So if you guys are coming to Las Vegas, I know there are some. Is there any event on Friday?
Not Friday, but we have the player signing on Saturday at was it the House of Blues,
House
Mandalay
of Blues.
Bay.
Yep. We have what Trey Tucker and Dylan Lowby, right?
Yep,
Shout out to League of Bandits.
yep.
They're gonna be over there, so we might be over. Oh, we most likely might be over there at the player signing, meeting the players, meeting some of you guys if you guys do come through. Also, that's it for Saturday though, right? And then we got
Saturday, yeah.
Sunday. Then we got Sunday night. The party at where?
At the Golden Nugget in the Country Club Room, I think it's called.
Okay,
I mean, if you guys are looking to go, it is on what the Raider Crusaders page
Raider
and
Crusaders
the Black Hole
and the Black
page.
Hole. Yeah, yeah. So I think they're selling tickets to that whole thing. I think Saturday night is that whole Fremont experience type thing with the Black Hole. I'm not too sure about it, but I know that there's going to be a lot of events. And then I know Woods and Whiskey's going to be doing something on Monday before the game. So that's another thing to look out for. There's going to be a lot of events. I think I'll post the events that we might be going or showing up to because I know a lot of you guys might be coming out to town. Of course, we're going to be at J Lot for the very first game and
Yep.
just enjoying the game. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Just the vibes, the first game here with Pete Carroll with this whole team. It's gonna be really exciting, Goose. I'll start off first, but I want to ask you um, to think of one player that you're looking forward to watching in this game that you feel like can break out or have a big game. For me, I don't know what it is, but I feel for some way. I don't know, but I feel like Ashton Jeanty might have a big game, Moose.
I'm going with Ashton Jeanty too.
Oh, you're gonna go with Ashton Jeanty?
Yep.
Yeah. Why so?
Because this is the game where he comes out and he shows them who's boss.
Yeah, hopefully so. But
Come out
especially,
swinging, the old
yeah,
Raider way. Hit somebody on the way out. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Don't get caught by the refs.
I hope so. Like this is one of those games that if he could show out on prime time, then a lot of people could start chilling on him. At least run somebody over, bro.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy. But I guess if I had to choose another player, just so we could have two different players, I don't know, man. I feel like hopefully the Ooze Dante Thornton is,
Oh
hopefully
man, that
he can
catch he did, that slide
oh
catch,
yeah, and that
I
was a
was
crazy
tripping.
play.
I was like, oh, dude, what the? What's that?
And it was kind of crazy because, Geno Smith actually underthrew him. But, I think Geno was throwing off his back foot anyway. So
Yeah,
the fact that we were able to see that connection, we got to see them connect twice, but that's only the beginning. So I feel like this game is going to be. It's going to be a little mix of both, the passing attack and the rushing attack. So it's going to be really, really big for this team. Of course, I'm pretty sure you got us winning this game, Moose, right? I
yep.
got us winning this game as well. But that being said, though, it felt good to finally get back, and we're going to be on this weekly, whether, like I said earlier, in person or online. So definitely tap in if you guys haven't already. Of course, you guys can find me at Samoan Raider on all social media platforms, and you can find the Oos.
Me at Mr. Fitz, MRFITZ 714 on all platforms.
Yes, sir. So hopefully next week we come back feeling even better than we did this week. But we'll see
Yes,
you guys
sir.
at the game or even at the events. But till then, we are, yeah.
Peace.